This thing here is the latest Oppo. It's the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. It has some changes over Oppo's last year Find X7 Ultra, and it's considered to be the tiniest smartphone with a 1-inch camera using the Sony LIT 900 sensor. Guys, in this video I'm going to unbox this baby, do my first impressions and review, and of course in the course of the next few weeks you can expect a proper battle versus the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, the S25 Ultra, and also the Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. But now let's talk about the Oppo. This year Chinese Ultra phones are not what it used to be, because right now only the Oppo and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra are using a 1-inch sensor, namely the Sony LIT 900. The king of the smartphone cameras last year was the Vivo X100 Ultra, and this year the Vivo X100 Ultra is also great. I still don't have it, but they're also using the Sony LIT 818, which is not a 1-inch sensor, which technically can be considered as a downgrade, but luckily with the Vivo processing and the amazing software and lenses depth they have inside, I think it's still on par. But forget about the Vivo. This video is all about the Oppo, and for me there is one big reason purchasing this phone, right? Come here, check this camera bump, guys. All the phones that have the very big periscope, the sensor from Samsung, ISOCELL HP9, and the HP9X in the Vivo, they have these huge bumps, which is annoying. I mean, I have to tell you guys, this is really annoying. Like, the weight distribution is not the best, specifically in the Xiaomi. Maybe Vivo are doing it better, but this thing here, right, has a tiny bump. And I'm saying, if this is able to give me good photos from 1x until 10x, I'll probably forget about the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, which is for me superb camera phone. The 6x telephoto camera that is 135mm gets not only a bigger sensor but also a brighter aperture compared to last year, which means that you're going to be able to get more light in. The 3x camera is using the same sensor as last year, but it got also a brighter aperture. The main camera is still the same, and there are probably some downgrades on the ultra-wide camera because it uses a smaller sensor, but we're going to have to see. There is also one surprise. This thing has a 5th camera. Okay, it's not really a camera, it's a 2-megapixel chroma sensor that is actually able to just split your photos and analyze the white balance over the different sections and help you with exposing people's faces, getting better skin tone, and actually get the correct white balance in tougher scenario. Alright guys, enough said. Now let's put this on my unbox table and let's see what it's inside. Here we are back on my desk. Oppo AI Find X8 Ultra, Oppo Hasselblad. I got the version with 16 GB of RAM, half a terabyte storage, guys. Alright, so now without further ado, let's try to see what we have inside this big box. Taking the cover off, inside I guess a case and also instructions. Oh wow, yeah, nice and soft TPU case. Unlike the one I got for my Xiaomi, this is not the original one, but the original one is also from hard plastic. So this is a nice feeling TPU. Okay, here we have the booklet. Let's put that aside, guys. Oh, the charging brick, guys. Yeah. All right. This, by the way, is only China, so don't expect this phone to be released as a global phone. We have here Oppo Super Vogue, guys. This supports 100 watts wired chargers, guys, with 10 watts reverse wireless charging and 50 watts wireless. We do have also a SIM card slot ejector and yeah, the cable that is there. So it's really refreshing to still see big boxes and chargers included, but sadly this is only for China phones. All right, and now guys, the beast itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I do present you the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. Nice. Take a look at that bump, guys. Okay, wait, I need to show something. This thing here is the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. I've been using it since the day I got it. It's an incredible phone. Yeah, take a look at that camera bump and now compare with the Oppo. All right, well, you can see certainly a smaller one, and I'm not sure if you're getting why I'm so hyped here, but honestly I want to get a good camera experience with something that is flat on the back. But this doesn't really work with modern periscope cameras and with modern optics. So all these companies like Xiaomi and Vivo and Oppo, they have to do all kind of tricks, put inside very big sensors like the HP9 and prisms inside different lenses, you know, like W shape, M shape. So it's really very hard to beat the physics. But what Oppo did here, and I really hope that this is going to still end up as being a good camera phone, what Oppo did here, they really tried to minimize the bump. All right, So one camera, 2, 3, 4, and pay attention guys, also this new 2 megapixel spectral camera, and we do have the flash outside. If we have to compare it with the Xiaomi 15 Ultra here, the flash is on the inside, but just take a look at this, like they really look very, very similar. The Oppo Find X8 Ultra has a 6.82 inches LTPO screen. It's an AMOLED screen with 4040p resolution, the 120 Hz refresh rate, the Dolby Vision, the HDR10. It's really using the latest and greatest technology, of course. Snapdragon 8 Elite, LPDDR5X RAM guys, UFS storage is 4.0, 6100 mAh of a battery compared to the 6000 here and the China version of the Xiaomi guys, so 100 mAh more. And I said that they look identical, but now guys, let's turn the front on the back and you can see, shocker, right? Absolutely shocker guys, because what we have on the Oppo is a very, very flat screen, and I've been kind of like loving the flat screens. I'm also digging the curved one, you know, with this Chinese thing that is like flat and curved at the same time. But honestly guys, since I've been using the S20 4 and 5 Ultra, I am all for flat screens. Just looks better for me, and also with gestures and swiping. All right guys, on the right hand side we do have the volume rocker. All right, oh, what the heck is this guys? Recognize this button from somewhere? Yeah, okay, so this is the camera button. It's a pressure sensitive button guys, but you can actually not click it, right? Although you might think that it does click, no it doesn't, right? So but you can touch it and you can apply some force, you can go back and forth. We're gonna be testing this. So volume rocker and power button. Down below we have the speaker, the microphones, the SIM card tray slot, and also the USB-C port. A very, very, very nice left frame with, pay attention, yeah, we have the alert button here. And on top, of course, we have more microphones and antennas. And this is the Oppo Find X8 Ultra, guys. Let me weigh it. 228 grams, guys, okay? Now, let's try to remember how much was my Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Yeah, it's almost about the same, guys, 232. So you see, even without that big Samsung HP9 telesensor, guys, it's almost the same weight. We still have 4 50 megapixel cameras on the back with 2 telephoto modules, pretty much like the flagship from Oppo last year. So the main camera here is powered by Sony LIT900, so it is indeed the 1-inch sensor, 23 mm with an aperture of 1.8, and this is also the camera that the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is using, the camera that Oppo used last year. What about the zoom cameras, guys? They're the same, right? It's still 3x and 6x, but they have been upgraded because the 3x camera right now is using LIT700 with a sensor size 1/1.56. It's still 50 megapixel, 70 millimeter, guys, and it has a better, brighter aperture of f2.1, which is actually not that bad, and according to Oppo, you should be able to focus as close as like 10 centimeters. Then we do have the 6x cameras, which we had last year, and it wasn't great, it was very slow. This camera here has LIT600 sensor with the sensor size of 1/195, and we're also getting a bigger aperture here, meaning brighter, meaning you can get more light. It's an aperture value of 3.1. Last year it was 4.3, so it was like a smaller aperture, and yeah, the results wasn't that great. But all right, we always have to say but. The ultra wide camera, guys, has been somehow downgraded. It's still the same 50 megapixel camera, but the sensor size is a smaller one. The sensor size is 1/2.75 inches and the aperture is 2.0. Well, let's see, guys, I'm not a person that typically will go for ultra wide, and also we now know from all the videos, if you want to go for the best ultra wide powered by Sony LIT8-1A, you should go for the Vivo X200 Ultra. We do have here the signature point. All right, guys, now without any further ado, let me power on the phone, and I'm going to be putting also my SIM card and using the Oppo Find X8 Ultra as my main driver for probably the next few weeks up to a month. It really depends on how much I like the photos. Find X booting logo. Whoa, here we are, guys. Take a look at that amazing screen. All right, this, by the way, is the SIM card slot ejector. I wanted to showcase this to you guys. Yeah, looks like a smiley face. And what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna be taking the SIM card from my Xiaomi 15 Ultra. For me, that's really the best way to do the reviews, guys. I need to use the phones for a couple of days, of course for a couple of weeks even better, because only then I'm able to produce a realistic review. So I'm not able to deliver the reviews so quickly as I wanted to do so because I really need time. Take a look at the SIM tray. Proper rubber here, and of course this phone does have IP68 but also IP69, which means, well, let's say that you can try to be under the rain with it. Don't try to wash it with a pressure washer, but my SIM card is in. This means that the journey with the Oppo Find X8 Ultra can start for me. Yeah, I like this welcoming animation. Let's go inside the settings. All right, oh nice, oh fancy guys. I'm just really so happy with the form factor because this really reminds me of the S25 Ultra. Don't get me wrong, the Xiaomi 15 still has that gorgeous design with this kind of 4D, whatever they call them, curved edges. But I think that I'm gonna be better off with a absolutely flat screen. All right, let's check some settings. Oppo Find X8 Ultra, ColorOS 15. This should be running with Android 15. And now it's going to be interesting to see if there are already any updates. Yes, there is an update. Camera has been updated. All right, enjoy the ability to capture stunning videos at 4K and 120 FPS. Now supports 25 megapixel high-res format for live photos. 25 megapixel, guys, is almost like the sweet spot between the image file size and the quality. It's something that the iPhone natively supports, and we also have it in the S25 Ultra and the others via the Expert Pro. So it's cool to see that one. A lot of things are there. I'm not going to update it for now because I just want to do my first impressions video and the first few tests like Geekbench and etc. just with the software out of the box. 6100 mAh, guys, silicon carbon battery, 16GB of RAM, you know, all the camera setup, performance booster, system resource usage, CPU, GPU, storage, RAM, optimizations, cleanup, yeah, I mean, all the whistles and bells. RAM virtualization, and also CPU virtualization. What about the display? 6.82 inches Pro XDR display. This is really, guys, like the latest and greatest in the smartphone industry, and I really hope that I'm gonna like the photos from the main camera and probably also from the zoom cameras until up to like 10-15x. If this really checks out, then I'm going to be very happy. And I can tell you guys, you can still feel the bump. It's not going to be so annoying like this thing here. This thing here is really huge, and you might think that I'm kind of like pretending, but it's not. I mean, you can really feel it. Also, something very important, guys, Xiaomi, I think, did it better than Vivo, because what I've seen from the Vivo, yeah, it's harsh. Here we just have this gradual slip over, like this melt directly in the phone's body, and that's a bit better. Else on the Vivo we just have, I guess, even a bigger bump, boom, directly mounted on the phone. But hey guys, it's a camera phone. This thing here, I do believe is very acceptable. I mean, it's still very noticeable, and of course when you put the phone here, you know, you're gonna have some wobble, but nevertheless, guys, it is better than on the other phones. I bought the phone from Trading Shenzhen. They do all the quality checks, and I guess they also are installing the Play Store APK for me or for you guys. I'm gonna put a link down below if you wanna check this out. Now I'm gonna sign in and start digging. I'm already syncing my contacts, and the next thing I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna go inside the display settings because I know that they are probably not using the highest available resolution, and I was right. Screen resolution is standard, which is this one here. It's 1080, but I'm gonna go and choose the highest one. So it's 3168 by 1440p. This is gonna look much better. And by the way, I want to immediately go and get rid of this and use gesture navigation. Something I noticed just by exiting the menus, the haptics is brutal, guys. Wow, I can really feel how it kind of hits me. This is really good. And guys, something that I'm noticing just from this like 10-15 minutes with the Oppo, this feels so good in the hand in terms of the weight distribution, guys. Now the Xiaomi 15 Ultra feels a bit hard at the top, and that's a problem when you just use the phone with one hand, because it's gonna just always try to do like this. Not the Oppo, alright? Not the Oppo. This is really very interesting. Also, let's compare the display sizes. You can pretty much see, I have a feeling that the Oppo is just a tiny bit wider. Honestly, that's a form factor that I think is really cool. Like, it looks almost like an iPhone or a Samsung phone, but at the back we have these powerful cameras, and of course we have ColorOS. And yes, in case you wonder, highest technology here, ultrasonic fingerprint recognition. Now, very important, guys, I'm so happy to see this. I was worried because the Vivo X1 Pro Mini,
Yeah, the fingerprint sensor was here down below. It wasn't that good. This thing here is so much better. It's really positioned. Oh my god, and it's so fast. And these haptics, this is absolutely killing me. I don't really joke here, guys. The haptic seems to be brutal. Let's check device info hardware quite quick. Oppo Find X8 Ultra, guys. Android 15, that's clear. We do have here, guys, the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite. The best in class right now, built on a 3nm processor, guys. 2 clusters, 4.32 GHz and 6 3.53 GHz. It's Orion family, guys. Of course, the GPU is also by Qualcomm, is the Adreno 830. Android 15, this goes without saying. Display information, 3168 by 1440p, guys. We do support Dolby Vision, HDR10 and 10 plus HLG. The display should be quite bright, supporting up to 2500 nits peak brightness, guys. You can see it should be pretty good. The memory, as I said, LPDDR5X 16G. The storage inside, half a terabyte, UFS 4.0. All the camera information. Yeah, and by the way, the front camera is a 32 megapixel one. The battery, guys, a whooping size of 6100 mAh, silicon carbon, the latest technology. I did my initial setup and it's now time to run some benchmarks. And by the way, the fingerprint here is quite good actually, and fast. See how fast, boom. The animation of the unlock is also nice. Guys, now without any further ado, let's start Geekbench 6 for the first time. Remember, this is out of the box firmware without the update. Let's see how much points we're gonna score with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. And we're here. Not that bad out of the box, guys. More than 3000. 3057 single core score, more than 9000, 9064. Let's start the Wildlife Extreme. See how much we get here on the first run. Getting that nice FPS. Of course, guys, I did not expect anything else. This is Snapdragon 8 Elite with the Adreno 830. This is right now one of the best in-class mobile chips. Let's see how much we're gonna get at the end. 6444 with an average FPS of almost 39 FPS. It's not that bad, guys. This was my ever first Wildlife Extreme result on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. You can see I did that immediately out of the box. 5077, slightly higher on the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. That's a bit weird as the Xiaomi 15 Ultra is nevertheless still a beast of a phone. But guys, always take benchmarks result with a grain of salt. Now, this thing here is my ever first Geekbench 6 result that I got with the Xiaomi on the 25th of March. And you can see it's a bit lower on the single core score and also a bit lower on the multi-core score. Actually not so much, right? Like the multi-core here is more than 9000, here 8381. But what is even more interesting is that I redid the Geekbench 6 just now minutes ago, and again, right? 2900 versus 3870 versus almost 9070. So there are some differences. Those are just benchmarks. Don't really think that this will translate into real world performance. And now what I would like to check with you is the sound. And for that, I'm just gonna play a Netflix video. Let's go inside the sound settings. All right. So we have some settings here: smart, movie, gaming, music. Yeah, there is, I think, some changes. Now guys, let me go back to smart and I'm gonna go and put 100% of a volume. This is the music one. It's a very nice and full sound. Very good stereo separation, as long as I can tell. Holo audio. What is this thing? Oh, makes the sound more immersive. Probably something like Dolby. Yeah. Oh, and you can customize the spatial settings. Alright, that's funny. See what happens here? Reset it. Yeah, alright, probably not my thing. But honestly, the sound from the Oppo Find X8 Ultra isn't bad. It's very loud. Everything is clear from the bass to the trebles and the mids, so no complaints. Now let's go back in the sound, because remember the first time I was cycling through some settings, yeah, I felt the haptic and it was wow, all haptics. Jesus. And I realized the phone now is without a case, but I can feel it so strong here in this area, and I can definitely also feel it in my fingers on the edges here and also down below. Jesus, absolutely. Oppo nailed it. I think the haptics that they're using is really a very strong one. So if you're a fan of good haptics, good haptic feedback, this phone will get you covered. Now, let's test the display. This display is a gorgeous one. It's LTPO, it has AMOLED screen, 1 billion colors, guys, 120 Hz. I mean, it has Dolby Vision, HDR, HDR10+, everything should be there. Let me just try to pump up the brightness, as it can do up to 2500 nits in peak. Well, what can I tell you guys? You really cannot go wrong. Look at this. All the viewing angles, right? Perfectly viewable from almost any angle. Very nice and saturated colors. And oh my god, this flat screen with these bezels, nothing less but just stunning. This is the Oppo Find X8 Ultra next to my Xiaomi 15 Ultra, guys. Let's compare the bezels. The Oppo has a flatter screen, which somehow gives you the idea or maybe illusion that the bezels are very thin. And now pay attention, guys. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra has also a magnificent screen, but it's curved here, right, on all sides. And you might think, well, yeah, the bezel is a bit thicker. Due to the curvature of the display, sometimes you might think, yeah, it's not looking great. Although, guys, this is also a stunning phone. Now, I have disabled my Wi-Fi. Why? Because I want to see if I have VoLTE. This is a China phone. People might be thinking, yeah, I'm not gonna get 5G, I'm not gonna get VoLTE, I'm not gonna get Wi-Fi. Well, you have 5G, you have also VoLTE, and now it's important to also test the speed, which I already did in my first pre-test, and I got some nice results, more than 700 Mbps on the download and almost 50 on the upload. Have in mind that I don't have the best reception here in my studio, and I just expect to be getting even better results when I'm outside, and yeah, will I be able to repeat the almost 700 Mbps? This time probably not. Yeah, but still, guys, 600 Mbps. This is just so good, and I'm burning a crazy amount of data, guys, to be able to share this result with you. Honestly, there might be some bands missing in Europe for the 5G, but I'm getting a good reception and also a very strong and fast mobile data connection. And now, guys, one last thing. Remember, this is an Ultra phone, so a lot of the highlights really are here. That camera. What is gonna happen when I touch this thing here? Okay, quick button, double press the quick button to open the camera quickly, get started. All right, let me, yeah, even here the haptic is good. I think I need to get used to this. Oh yeah, this is just so weird. All right, I'm starting the camera for the first time, guys. So what do we have here? We do have the ultra wide. Remember, the ultra wide has been downgraded versus the one before with a smaller sensor size. We pretty much have the same main camera. All right, how close can we go with the main camera? Well, we can pretty much go close. Then we have a 2x that I guess is a crop from the main camera. Then we have a 3x that is already the first zoom camera. Okay, not bad, by the way. Can you go? Wow, you can really go close with that. It should be doing something like 10 centimeters. I'm not sure if this is 10 centimeters. Probably it is. All right, and then we have the 6x zoom camera. This one has been upgraded not only with a larger sensor compared to the one used last year, but also better, brighter aperture. The color seems to be consistent. This is the ultra wide, 1x, 2x, 3x, and up to the 6x. Now, guys, let's go and check the video options. So we have HDR. This is good. I guess this is now for Dolby Vision. Yeah, HDR video is Dolby Vision. All right, we have 1080p, we have 4K, 60 FPS, but yep, there is no 8K. Yeah, all right, that's interesting. The S25 Ultra and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and I guess also the Vivo X100 Ultra, they do support 8K. Will Oppo do this with an update? I'm not sure. Okay, let's just go 4K 60. All right, and let's just do a very short zoom lens cycle test. So now I'm ultra wide, 1x. Oh, wow. There is this camera shift, guys. That's not so pleasant. See here. All right, and then 2x, 3x. Okay. Yep, 6x, again a shift. But honestly, oh my god. Look into 30x on a video. Jesus Christ, not that bad at all. I guess also stabilized. You can see. Back to 1x, ultra wide 2. All right, ultra wide 3, ultra wide 6. This is not looking bad. And of course, guys, we have the famous master mode. This camera really has so many settings, guys. Of course, I need time to test it in and out so that I'm able to produce my review. Let's go back to photos and let's go inside the settings. Composition assistance, shutter sound, the standard stuff. We have formats, standard and also high res. So when high res is selected, photos taken in photos will be stored at a high resolution. Okay, let's go for this. We have also high efficiency image if that's your thing, and of course also HEVC that here is turned on by default. This is the photo with the Pro XDR and this is the photo without it, so you can see how it really pumps everything. So that's probably the 25 megapixel photo. You can see the resolution is slightly higher. From here we should be able to capture high resolution images. So let's say if I am to do that image, Jesus, I cannot really focus with the main so much, but with the 3x I can. So let's just try to focus. Okay. As I told, this image seems to be a 50 megapixel image, 12 megabyte of size. And this is the previous image, half in size, 6.3 megabytes, and I guess 25 megapixel. And yes, this should be the 12 megapixel picture. This is the standard format with a size of 3.4 megabytes. And guys, this thing is powered by Android 15, but of course we have ColorOS. I used ColorOS before and it's been great. You have all the nice and fancy things you would expect to have, with all the customizations, you know, with the icons. Yeah, you can see there are plenty of stuff that you can do. Also with the layout, you know, the grid, and of course the transitions. There are really a lot of things that I need to test to be able to produce a full review, guys. But I hope that this video is just good enough for my unboxing and first impression of this phone that will now become my main daily driver, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, VST over, and bye.